What's up, Kissables? This is the Kissable Diva, and you are tuning into the Kissable Nights podcast, where we discuss everything love, sex, and relationships. I am your love coach, and I create dates for busy couples. On today's show, wait a minute, Happy New Year! This is the first show. This is the first show of the year, and yes. I know you hear someone else on here, you guys. I wanted to open up the show with a guest host, and you can introduce yourself.
My name is Brianna, and I am, like Rebecca said, I am a friend of hers, and I am so very excited to be here to assist her in co-hosting this wonderful podcast.
Awesome sauce. Now, y'all heard her say Rebecca. That's my first name, but I am the Kissable Diva. As I introduce myself, that's all right, boo. It's okay to know my name. Okay, so for this show, we want to open it up with what's trending right now. And, you know, we have our president, Mr. Donald Trump.
Oh, Jesus.
And he has ordered a shutdown. And today, we're actually doing the show a couple hours before we post it. So today is January the 20th, and today is the 30th day we have been in shutdown. Mm-hmm. So it's been 30 days. And I just wanted to read a couple of things that, I mean, it's crazy how the government shuts down. Like it goes, it's like a domino effect. Wow. And I just wanted to read some of the things that has shut down in the days that we have been in this shutdown, this 30th day. So on December 22nd, partial government shutdown, it began. Mm-hmm. December 26th, the Federal Emergency Management Agency issues a stop work order to all contractors. I didn't even know, if you don't pay attention to stuff, you don't even know this is going on.
Exactly.
December 27th, limited staffing at the Securities and Exchange Commissions begins to affect reviews of company stock offerings and mergers and acquisitions, pending investigation to securities and violation slow. Of course, it's reading more. Guys, I'm reading from the NewYorkTimes.com website. Just let me pick one more here. It's a lot. It's like December 28th, the 30th, January the 3rd. What I thought was interesting, January 2nd, the Smithsonian Museums and National Zoo closed their doors.
Yes.
Wow.
And I knew that firsthand because my cousin actually works in the D.C. area. Mm-hmm. And one of my other cousins works for the museum. And so she's unemployed right now because it got shut down.
Wow. And also the next day, January 3rd, the National Gallery of Art closes to the public. The Federal Communication Commission suspends most operations, including the Consumer Complaint Center. What?
Right. A mess.
Wow. It's a lot, guys. Y'all can go into the website. I'll provide it on the Kissable Retreats website under this podcast that we are listening to right now. But I just thought it was really interesting how the New York Times kind of broke down each department and what it affects. And eventually it will affect us if it does go on.
Exactly.
So anyone that you know that is affected by this shutdown, I mean, try to offer anything within your means. Like, I don't know, babysitting, maybe cooking a meal.
Anything is better than nothing, for sure.
Right.
For sure, because it's affecting a lot of people.
Absolutely. So prayers go out to those that it has been affected to. Mm-hmm. And hopefully this thing can be resolved before,
sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because I need my tax return.
Okay. All right. So moving on, guys. Listen, this is the beginning of the year, right? Everybody has their resolutions or their intentions of what they would like to do with their lives.
Right.
Okay. Hopefully you have already rolled those intentions into effect at the end of the year, at the end of 2018, and you continue to work on them. That's what I promoted, of course, the closeout of the last season. So what I wanted to point out was a book I picked up because I really wanted to get organized, right? Mm-hmm. So it was a book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Maria Kondo. And it's the Japanese art of decluttering and organizing. And because I asked someone, do you know a book of a book that talks about organizing. And, they couldn't think of anything. But then when I searched it on Amazon. And it's a cute, small little book, just cute and compact. And
it's my favorite colors, too. So I might need to get that book.
It's like the color of the sky, guys. Like blue and white. So I started, poking around the book. I really did not, sit down and read the book. But she has a series on Netflix now, y'all. So y'all look up the Marie Kondo. It's I forgot what she calls her method. I want to say Kondo Marie method or something like that. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I thought was absolutely amazing that she did when she first met her client, they told her what they wanted to do, their expectations, however, and she said, okay, we could begin by thanking the house. And they kind of looked at her like, what? And I thought it was very humbling and simplistic to thank the house. And she proceeded to get on her knees, and everyone got on their knees, and she closed her eyes, and everyone can, say their own little words, their own little prayer within themselves by thanking the house.
That's powerful.
For shelter. Thank you for holding up, you know? And of course, all the source of it all. But just to itemize it like that, thanking the house, because she went on to when they did their clothes, you think the item of clothes that clothed you, and you put it in the bag and you can send it on the way. It's almost like a way of passage of moving things out of your life. And I thought it was a very, very nice way of doing it. It's very, very different, and it just, to me, it makes sense.
That is different. I love it. I love that.
Yeah, so if you guys are looking to find a book for tidying up, Marie Kondo, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up would be great. I think it's a great read. So it's a new year and a new chapter, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I wanted to get into the tips.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about time management.
Yes, I said let's do it. Okay. Let's get into it. Dive head first.
Time management, y'all. So listen, I create days for busy couples, and one thing that I want to do, especially with this podcast, is to provide tips and tricks and hacks for anyone that is busy and that, is still trying to keep that connection going within their relationships.
Right.
So when it comes to being a busy couple, you want to make sure that you are using your time properly. So I'm just going to give 3 tips, but I'll also offer probably a website that can give you a little bit more.
Awesome.
Or offer a little bit more onto the podcast, under the podcast on the Kissable Retreats website. But to get into these tips, why don't you enjoy the morning? So
please elaborate, please.
So
are crazy.
Enjoying the morning, you wake up before the house wakes up.
Okay.
You and your spouse wake up before the house wakes up.
Okay.
And you get your coffee, your breakfast, whatever you do, and you share those 30 minutes or more. I don't know how far you want to wake up, how much you want to wake up before the house.
Sounds
but 30
doable.
Minutes, I think a good 30 minutes is reasonable.
Yes.
Because you're a busy couple. So
right.
30 minutes and just enjoy each other with a cup of coffee and whatever breakfast that you have.
So amazing. I would love that. So I would just have to figure out exactly how we would make that happen. But I would love that. I'm just envisioning that, and I would just be so, it'll just set my day off right.
Right. It will make your morning right. And, it's good to wake up. Most people wake up and they meditate in the morning or they work out in the morning. And you can still do those things, but just to have those moments, those small little moments with your significant other. And, you guys can make a rule to not talk about anything and maybe just, my preference. I love to hear my significant other breathe. I don't know why. I don't know why it's that soothing to me, but it is. It is soothing just to hear. He don't have to say nothing. Just drink your coffee. Just breathe. Just read your newspaper. I am good. We don't have to talk. But I think doing the mornings.
I love that. And that's something simple that is just a quick, you don't really think about things like that, but just that little shift right there, allotting that time in the morning just for each other before you start your day could be so powerful in and just being connected with your significant other.
Right.
Something as simple as that. So I love that.
Yep. So the next tip, you guys, I think you should try a lunch date.
So explain how we're gonna make this work while we're at work.
So if you are in a position to, leave work during lunch, because I know some jobs, they prefer you not to leave.
Right.
But even if your significant other can come to you during lunch and they can eat with you at work, if you have a nice cafeteria, a nice patio area, you guys can sit down and have your lunch together. And you know what? That kind of is a pick me up for the rest of the day. You have those 35 minutes to an hour, just discussing your day or whatever it is that you want to talk about. And just that time, that quality time spending with each other is really good. I think it's a great
Now,
idea.
do you advise that you do the morning quality time with your significant other in conjunction with this lunch date?
Most of the time when you're busy, it may be kind of hard. I mean, do with what's in your means, you know what I mean? So
I would say for me, it would be one or the other. That would make sense for me. So either we schedule a lunch date or we do our morning breakfast meditation together.
That sounds great. I mean, long as you're making time.
Right.
Long as you're making time to connect. And that is, what I'm here for, to give you ideas on how to connect.
Hallelujah.
Okay? All right. So the third one is do an early happy hour or do your own happy hour. So you can schedule for someone to babysit the kids, or if you don't have any kids, that's even better. And, maybe take off of work, leave work probably an hour earlier. You could go out somewhere. This is where I like to put in the little role play, act like you don't know me type thing, and come up to the bar and,
so
hey, what's your name? It's cute. It's really cute. It's a different atmosphere. You can do that. Or you can do it at home, act like home is the bar. And, have your little nice, little cute little cocktail dress on, make up your own, your own mixes, martinis, whatever you want to make. And, he comes home and, hello, stranger, how are you? I mean, I don't know. I think it's invigorating. I love it. I love stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it just brings a different aspect to, it just helps you break out of that mold of constantly going to work, coming home, bills, this, that, children, whatever. So it's just a
spice
little
to the relationship.
Yeah, just spice it up just a bit. So what would you do concerning that? Now, some people don't drink. You don't have to do the drinking. You can do a afternoon workout session. We could do that. You could do a walk in the park.
For me, I feel like it would most likely be, I like the idea of him coming home and me having it all set up, and we kind of do that role play at home because we're already intimate in our intimate setting, I should say. And so I just think that would just be so ooh, I like that. I like that.
Yes,
and he would like that too. He'd be like, what's going on? In a good way.
Right. Yeah. So guys, those are the 3 tips that I have. Do mornings where you can have a morning coffee before the house wakes up. And, don't forget, you can also, even if you don't want to do the mornings and maybe the lunch date works for you, mornings are really good for self. When you need that time to yourself and, you need to think to yourself and, just gather yourself before you start your day. Mornings are great for that as well.
Agreed, for sure.
But if it works for you, mornings are good. Over coffee, over your favorite drink, over your favorite breakfast meal before you get your house ready. And then the lunch date, I think, is very, very cute. They can come to your job. Y'all can go out to a certain place, already have reservations or call it in, have it already ready. You can, eat the takeout at the restaurant if you want, or go to a park. You could do that. So it's so many things that you can do, variations that can help you apply these tips to your situation or your relationship.
Yes.
And the last one, and not least, of course, doing your own happy hour or going out to a happy hour. And like you said, you like the happy hour of setting up everything before he comes home.
Yes.
And that would be a nice surprise, actually.
For sure.
Especially if it's something that you don't usually do.
Like me.
And sometimes you can have like little cards of instructions and say, hey, welcome to, whatever, I don't know, whatever bar you want to call it.
Right.
Whatever you want to call it, welcome. And
bar of love.
Bar of love, there you go. And, give him instructions on what he needs to do, honey. And go from there. I think those are awesome ways to reconnect with your partner. And it doesn't necessarily have to be physical, but hey, if it ends up that way, it doesn't hurt.
And you're already at home.
Right. So guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this show that we've done for you today. Of course, I want to close it out. I said I wanted to start doing the date night of the week. And for this week, I think that you should try anything close to you ever heard of breakout rooms?
No, because I'm very sheltered. I do not go anywhere outside my house. I don't get out much. I just come home to my husband. So please elaborate.
Okay, so breakout rooms. I'm not sure if that's a proper name. I really didn't look up the proper name, but I do know that they are breakout rooms. So basically, you're in a room and they tell you that you need to find different clues on how to get out of the room.
Okay, yeah. Yes,
yeah, so I think it's something that they have downtown.
I didn't know it's called a breakout room.
It probably isn't called that, but
yes, I've been to one.
Some companies do call it breakout. It may not be called that.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've done it before?
I have.
Oh, okay, great.
With a group.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So I think that'll be a cute date.
That is a cute date.
It causes you to work together, depend on each other.
Correct.
It causes teamwork.
Correct.
It's a different atmosphere, and it also creates memories. And that's what I am all about when it comes to couples, is creating those memories.
It's like a metaphor, because if you're able to overcome that and work through that and break out the room, okay, which is a hard task. I'll let you know right now. Do not get frustrated when y'all are struggling, because you're going to struggle. It's hard. But when you get through, it's like the most liberating. It makes you feel very accomplished, like you achieved this master goal. And you can apply that to your actual relationship as well. Yes.
Knocking out those goals.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, guys. So that is the end of the Kissable Nights podcast for today's show. I certainly hope that you all enjoyed the information that we shared with you this evening. I'm happy to be back. I have a lot of things that are in store. Please follow me at Kiss Retreats on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, do that. Like now.
And also, couples, if you need a calendar, go ahead to Kissable Retreats website. And then you can sign up so that you can get that ultimate date night list and also the date night calendar.
That's a must-have, y'all. A must-have.
So it'll help you with that time management. You can schedule it in. I even have a cute little legend on there to, tell you color-coded of what type of date nights you want to do for the month. So it's really cute. You guys go download it. It's a wonderful tool to have. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close the show. Are there any last thoughts that you would like to, any advice you would like to give couples that are trying to manage time?
Just make sure that you find some time. Doesn't mean it has to be an extensive amount of time. It doesn't have to be an hour and a half, 2 hours. But like, our wonderful Kissable Diva here has said, you can give your partner 30 minutes in the morning. That is very doable. So find some time along the way to make time for your significant other, and it'll make a huge difference in your relationship.
Thank you so much, Triana, for being on the Kissable Nights podcast.
No problem.
I enjoyed you. You were a jewel. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for listening. You are now tuning into the Kissable Nights podcast, where we discuss love, sex, and relationships. I am the Kissable Diva, your love coach, and I create dates for busy couples. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night, and remember to keep it kissable.